Welcome to Preachin on Preacher at the Movies, episode number 73. This week's movie is The Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun Li. Later on in part 2, we will be talking about our question of the week, which is best and worst video game movie adaptations. I'm John Lennon.
Michael Ormond.
I'm Aidan Ralph.
You say adaptations, I say adaptions.
Oh, controversy. Get out.
Adaptations, adaptations, adaptations.
Hang on,
Let's
wait.
call the whole thing up.
What if I just...
Don't you...
I don't remember which one I'm hooked up to, and I don't...
No, don't. You're... Stop.
There we go. That's better. Okay.
Okay, so...
That joke never gets old.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, because you're a dictator of this shit.
The first 3 letters in that are right.
Ooh. How are your weeks, gentlemen? 2 weeks, considering it's been 2 weeks since we've recorded.
That is true. What did we do last week again?
I couldn't or something like that. I think
Aidan, we agreed on a Friday time, and Thursday night, Aidan's like, actually, I can't do Friday. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
That was his exact words.
No,
that was the week before.
The week before was Amsterdam.
A lot has happened in the 2 weeks since.
Yeah, so like before the last time we recorded, Joe was the only one with any sort of tattoos. Now all 3 of us have tattoos.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
That happened.
I never thought that you were the sort of guy to get a tattoo for some reason, Mick. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. I just didn't see you getting a tattoo.
So I think I've explained this to some people, but it's kind of like
some people.
My 2 things with tattoos were always I did like the idea of getting one.
Yeah.
But it was always I didn't like anything enough to get it permanently on my body.
Okay.
And then would I regret it afterwards? They're my 2 big things. And I went in with everybody when they were getting their tattoos for Rob's birthday and didn't get one that day. A combination of I wasn't part of I didn't make myself part of the conversation when it happened,
right.
And I only got the day off work like 4 days beforehand. So I didn't know if I'd be free. But sitting there, it was the first time I think I'd regretted not getting a tattoo rather than getting a tattoo, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
So the situation that I was in there and then all of that, I was kind of like, for the first time, I was thinking of it in the opposite way. Whereas like, I've been focused so much on the regret of getting the tattoo, I never thought about the regret of not getting the tattoo.
FOMO.
Yeah. So then I got the tattoo a week later.
Yeah.
With Miriam when she came home for Easter.
Yeah. I like it. For those who don't know, you got a lovely Ken tattoo.
No relation to our our video producer.
Our producer.
I am the producer of this show, goddammit.
Okay.
So do you want to explain your reasons for getting Ken from Street Fighter on your leg?
Yeah, sure. So with Rob, he's big into fighting games. Like, plays pretty much every fighting game that comes out.
Pretty much, yeah.
And every single time Street Fighter came out, I'd always be like, this is the one I'm finally gonna get good at. And I'd spend hours in like the practice room. I'd pick a character, I'd go through all the combos and moves and figure all that shit out, and I'd play against the computer and it'd be on grand. I'd play a little bit online, it goes okay, and then eventually it'd be like Rob would text me or send me a message on PlayStation, be like, hey, do you want to play a few games? And like, yeah, finally, this is the time. Fucking picks Ken, beats the shit out of me every single fucking time. So
You'll pick any character, he'll pick Ken.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Hand your ass to you.
It was always either Ken.
Good.
It was always Ken or it was always Vega, and I hated Ken more so. But the way he bounced around with Vega, I fucking hate Vega.
He's pretty good with like say Ken, Vega, Chun Li, and
Bison sometimes.
Not as much Bison as he is great with Blanca.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at those 4 characters. Well, 5 if you include Ryu into that. Those are his bread and butter. Like. He's just insanely good. I've seen him beat a guy one-handed while eating a pizza like years ago at Sean Brennan's house. Like he just I can't remember. I think it was Gwyn or something like that challenged him like that, and he goes, "I'm eating," and he had one slice in his hand like that, and he had one hand on the pad like this, and he fucking tore him apart. Like it was just one of those moments I'll always remember. He was so proud of that moment. Like he like always used to bring it up. Yeah, and you
fuck off.
It's a fly.
So that was your reason for getting that one.
Yeah.
So Joe, do you want to explain your tattoo and why you got
I'm
it?
going to have to explain this tattoo for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you may as well since you
I
have
had to
it.
explain to someone in work today. They goes, "What is that new tattoo you got?" And it's I got a Dunstores ginger nut box on my arm, and that's the only way you can describe it.
Well, that's
so
because it's exactly what it is.
exactly what it is. Like,
yeah. Do you want to show it
it's-
to the camera there a little bit
I
closer?
don't know if I
maybe?
can even do, but it is an actual ginger nut box.
I
don't
didn't
know
whip
if you
my
can
leg
reach.
out, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason behind this is years ago, when me and Rob started in Dunn stores, I always used to do the biscuit oil. I remember
Yeah.
one day he'd come out to the
Biscuity
back.
Joe.
Biscuity Joe, that was it. Was it though?
We never called him
We
that.
never called me that. Jesus
But
Christ.
but yeah.
I even convinced myself there for a second.
But yeah,
So-
go on.
So basically, one day we're at the back. I'm putting them all on a pallet to bring out to the floor. And Rob picked up one. I goes, "Hey, hand me that box." And he picked it up, and it was this ginger nut box. And I goes, "Hold on." So I took a picture, and that became that year. Or was the year after maybe, that picture he used as a Christmas card,
Yeah.
and started sending them to people. And he used that for a couple of years. That same picture I remember taking. It looks so bad. Like, it took on an old shitty phone years ago. It was probably 2006 probably, or 5. And from then on, not knowing that picture would spawn 10 years of fucking madness. Like, he done the Kim Kardashian break the internet photo with his ass hanging out. He's done more. He's done the Burt Reynolds pose with it on a table. He's had Hunter actually in pictures with him chewing on the box. And even before leaving Oakwood, he burnt the box, which he didn't actually do. It was a Dunn Stores ginger nut box he burnt, not a St. Bernard.
Hunter, by the way, being the son of a couple of
Hunter,
a friend
son of
ours.
Daniel.
Son of Daniel.
Yeah,
So
Son
that
of
was
Sean,
mine.
son of
Yeah.
That was something.
he was only a baby at the
Um,
time and stuff. But he's still like he's still
want to
toddler
do.
at this point. But
And
yeah,
you,
I got actually. Do you want to show a picture? Do you want to show your tattoo to the camera, Mick, or is that
I'm
too
not going to
awkward?
whip my leg out on the table.
I think you should.
You sure about that?
It's
I can show a picture of my tattoo.
No, I think you should show it to the camera. I think it's a
Oh,
fucking
Jesus.
great tattoo.
Okay, hang on.
Get the
I,
leg out.
I think it's a good idea. So here's Mick is whipping out his tattoo. If you want to see Mick's tattoo, you'll need to watch the full YouTube or watch full YouTube results. Yeah, but that's one hell of a tattoo. That's a tattoo.
It looks class.
It looks
Absolutely
incredible.
looks- yeah,
It does. It looks incredible.
I like it.
So what I got, I was trying to think what to get. I was like, and I'd never, like Mick, I'd never gotten a tattoo before either. So I was.
You were quite nervous as well, weren't you?
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what to get and stuff. And then after a while, I thought about it, and what I decided to get in the end, like there's a film called Popstar, which we watched on this podcast just a little bit over a year ago. You can't do the puke thing.
I
Only
can't.
can do it. Just over a little bit over a year ago is when we
Bleh.
did
Great
the pod for that. But yeah, I remember me and Adele went to see that in the cinema like a week before we moved in with Joe and Rob and stuff. And as soon as I got into the place, I was like, "Here, you guys have to see this fucking Popstar movie." And I said to Rob, "Especially you. I know you'll love it.
Yeah.
Especially you." I said, and then, like,
Especially you.
so like I came home from work one day, and Joe and Ken and Rosie were watching it. I joined them. They all loved it and stuff. And then Rob, a week or two later, he watched it. And I was pottering about the house and stuff. I could hear Rob was this real loud, boisterous laugh. I could hear his laugh echoing throughout the house. I was like, yeah, good. He's one of us now.
He loved that. He became really obsessed with that. Real
He
quick.
did, yeah.
Went and got the Blu-ray. He
I
went,
knew he would as well.
like obsessed with the donkey roll. Like,
Yeah.
it was good.
Every single episode of our show, as soon as the live show part,
Yeah.
like first or second comment was always, do the donkey roll.
He used
no,
to
was
come
let
in.
me see that donkey roll.
He
Sorry.
used to come in on that podcast
so-
and then leave as soon as he said, "Have you done the donkey roll?" Like he wouldn't even stay for the full podcast.
So I decided to get the donkey roll. So this very silly tattoo of Andy
love it.
Samberg,
I absolutely love it.
Akiva Schaffer, Andy Ormatacone doing the donkey roll.
Also,
So
you should
it's-
tell. So you put that up on Twitter soon after it.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter and I tweeted the Lonely Island saying, my first tattoo. Big love to you guys and Rob Sam Fox, which is Rob's Twitter handle. And the Lonely Island replied a couple of hours later saying, "Holy shit!" and a crown emoji.
I love it.
So it's been seen by like at least 1,000 people, or at least liked by at least 1,000 people.
yeah,
on,
the amount
on
of people
Twitter
that are
and
actually giving love to that was absolutely
stuff,
awesome.
which is really nice.
You have that is one
Yeah.
thing we have never talked about. I think on this before. You have one hell of a way of getting celebrities' attention on Twitter. Like you're always talking about, oh, this, I got a reply from him, or
Yeah.
he retweeted in favor. Like it was like, wait, how do you do this?
Yeah, I got
I abuse Trump on Twitter on a
I
daily
know.
basis. Not once has that cunt done anything.
I
for
know,
me.
yeah. I got a reply
Ugh.
from Kevin Smith once,
That's
I think,
awesome.
and Kevin Smith's liked a few of my tweets. He's very good for like acknowledging your tweets.
I had
and
Mick
stuff.
Foley actually DM me before.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Over
He
it,
slid into
over
your
it.
DMs.
He slid into my DMs.
Oh, nice. Or Graham
that's
Coxon
the
from
nearest I have. Either
Graham
that.
Coxon from Blur ever flies me once or twice as well, which is
I had
very surreal.
Yeah,
David
but they're not
Hasselhoff
important.
following me.
He's my favorite guitarist in the world. Who's her phone?
I had the Hoff following me on
That's
Twitter for a
fucking-
while, and
that's
it was
madness.
around the
For
time
a while, so he stopped following
He
you
did,
since.
yeah. It was during his whole I'm gonna.
He must have been
film-
bored by your non-stop Pokemon tweets.
Probably. Like, he, for a while, was going through that phase of, I'm going to film myself drunk and eating a kebab. Do you remember that?
Oh,
That
great
was a weird
times.
phase.
You sure it wasn't me that was following you, Joe?
Good lord. Did you Ken? Did you ever think about getting a tattoo in honor of Rob? Or
I will be.
you will be? Oh, okay, cool.
I just have to figure out what I want.
Mm-hmm.
You have to figure out what you want. Okay, I'm repeating what you say because you're not on mic. That's just
As-
for the
as-
benefit
yeah.
of people that.
For the
I know.
benefit of those of flesh.
Yeah.
No.
Mr.
Exactly.
Hardy.
Yeah.
Quick aside before we get into the film. How
Yep.
did you find, as well, there's more to Aiden, you've got loads of tattoos. How did you find the tattoo experience, like the process?
The day was really fun.
Mhm.
The guy that did my tattoo he's a character. He sounds
Mhm.
exactly like Ken, our video producer, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Every time he's in the other room, he's like, "Is Ken here?"
Same,
It was
like,
very strange.
kind
Ken
of
there.
accent, same, like,
Mhm.
mannerisms.
Mannerisms.
as well. Some of the
Yeah.
stuff he was saying.
It was crazy.
I was like, yeah.
But yeah, it was I have this thing about my pain threshold is fucking nil.
Mhm.
So I had this thing where I was just like, oh, this is gonna hurt, this is gonna hurt, this is gonna hurt. So for the first, like, he was just doing the outline. He was doing it for about 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started feeling real queasy. I was like, "Sir, do you mind? Can we open a window or something?" And we're like beside him. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll stop for a minute. Do you want some water?" And then he got one of the girls to give me a glass of water. And I ate about 5 lollipops in 20 minutes. And and yeah, but like once he started again, and Adele was there with me there, like holding my hand and shit. And then after a few minutes, it was fine. Then just once I got over the
The
initial,
initial, yeah.
yeah, and like one side, like Yorma was on the right, that side there. Like he was more painful than the other two for some reason, which is odd.
Just different.
It's just that part of the arm.
sensitivity
Yeah. So Ken's showing us his treble clef tattoo. So like that side for you was painful as well, was it? Yeah. Isn't that weird? I assumed it would be one of the. There
Mm.
must be, yeah. But anyway,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
once I
think-
got over the initial, he was done and dusted in like 20 minutes, I think,
Mhm.
or 25 minutes.
I think for me, it was more uncomfortable than painful, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I had 2 or 3 bits where I was like, oh, this is starting to, ugh. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just found the whole thing more, it wasn't what I expected at all. And
Yeah.
again, I was going in expecting it to hurt, but it was more just, this feels a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And fucking trying not to laugh at Luke, I think was the tattoo artist
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking about. Trying not to laugh at his stories about fucking, he was talking about
Your man.
his brother or his brother's mate who got fucking Prince Albert, and then just going through exactly how you get a Prince Albert. And it's just like,
Jesus.
oh, but it was so funny the way he told it. I was like, I can't laugh because I'll move my leg. If I
Yeah,
move my
yeah.
leg, I'm gonna have a line across my leg that I'll never be able to get rid of.
Yeah.
I think the greatest story told, and I'll just tell this before we move on to the
Is that not the Bible?
I forgot.
The greatest-
Sake.
God, fucking hell! I believe what you
Jesus,
meant to
if you're
say
watching and want to
was
sponsor
Star
us.
Wars.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
alright, yeah.
One of the greatest stories he told was a guy wanted a tattoo on his
His helmet.
his helmet.
Oh god.
He wanted
yeah.
a little I can't remember
Line,
what it was.
just
Like
a
Just a
line.
line.
Just
or
a
something.
line
He told
down
that
it.
story to you too, obviously.
It was like a
Mhm.
line down the.
Well, I
middle
was there
of
while
the-
you were getting tattoos.
Oh, that's
helmet.
right. Sorry. Yeah.
So on it, the guy. So pretty much with dick tattoos, you can pretty much say, yeah, 600, because it's one
Just
of those
name a
things.
price,
Name
yeah.
a price. Because if anyone is coming in for a dick tattoo, they're gonna know. So he goes, it was really weird,
Actual
and
dick pic.
uncomfortable the whole time.
I don't think it was
As he
600.
started-
It was a lot.
It was
though.
400. I think he said in the
350,
end.
you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes, as soon as he done a tiny bit of line, lifted it off, asked if it was okay, and then he started doing the line down the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and your man immediately ejaculated right all over.
Yeah. No, it's for the Ken, like
For those who
for
don't
real,
speak
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Fuck me!
He
Like
just jizzed straight
he
away.
just jizzed
Mhm.
straight away. It was like, did he come in to do that on purpose? Like, was it one of those
That's-
things where?
Oh, Ken said, "Come in."
Oh. But like,
Zing.
god damn it! Like,
Yeah. That's
that's the
fucked
worst
up.
tattoo story I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's
It
fucking
has to be.
shocking.
But
How
yeah,
long? How long did yours take, by the way?
Just under 2 hours.
Jeez, that's a long time.
They said
nice.
I went very large for my first tattoo.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
big, because I was like, go big or go home.
Go
yeah.
over
No, I think you were saying this to me when we were
when I was looking at it and the design that it is, if it was a small tattoo, you'd lose a lot of the detail and it would look terrible. So it was like, no, I'll go bigger so that you can still see some of the lines and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense in fairness.
Already planning my next one.
What's your next one?
I'm thinking.
He's actually got one.
I'm thinking that.
What's that?
What the fuck is that from?
It's called Lucha Deer.
That's fucking amazing.
What is it though?
It's a deer with
It's
a
a
lucha
deer with a lucha mask on, for anyone who can see it.
What's a lucha mask?
Wrestling mask.
Oh right,
Oh,
okay.
I really like that.
And what's the significance of that?
It's an unofficial mascot for a website that I visit an awful lot.
Deadly.
I don't know. That's just
Is
an
it a porn?
idea. It's an
Is it a
idea
porn site
that's
or no?
Hmm?
Is it a porn site?
No.
My next one
It
will
should
be.
I don't know. That's an idea. I'm bouncing around a few ideas.
That's pretty
now.
cool looking.
My next one will be 4-in-1. So it'll be 4 small, inch by inch ones to fill in blank like spots in the middle. So then I can make a full color sleeve.
Oh, okay.
So I need 4 little ones about, maybe size of €2 coins or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I can fill in the blanks of just with probably color streaks or something like that.
Yeah.
But I have 3 of the 4 decided already. It's a 4th one I need to nail down, but they'll all be video game related.
Bulbasaur,
So
Charmander.
Oh yeah, the fucking 3
The 3
starters
starters
from,
and
from
Pikachu.
Gen 1 of Oh no, it's
Alright.
4 starters. Sorry, but anyway. isn't it?
So
Pikachu's a starter, isn't he?
No.
Okay, sorry. So it's
Pikachu's not there.
Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle,
Squirrel.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
16 minutes in to the start of the show.
Good
Let's
God.
talk about the film.
All right,
Yeah.
who wants to start off
Considering
with
Ken
this Street
was
Fighter?
talking about,
Well-
hey, you just have to keep this under a certain time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start this off with one question. Am I the only one who had seen it before?
I had not seen this before. I had seen the conversation about this before.
No, I'd never seen it before. No.
Okay. So I'm going to... All right, I'll start with Mick. Mick,
Mm-hmm.
what was your first initial impression of this movie? Like, I think we're all pretty much Street Fighter fans.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even though I'm terrible
So,
at the game, I'm
it's still a
really,
great
really
game.
bad at it. I love it. I'm really bad at it.
I don't see why this was a Street Fighter film.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Like straight
know.
off the bat, it's one
So
of
join
those,
us in part 2, won't you?
No, so one thing that always annoys me with video game stuff is they feel the need to change backstories for absolutely no reason. So
Yeah.
Chun-Li, instead of being this cool, tough female Interpol policewoman,
Mm-hmm.
is now a spoiled concert pianist
Mm-hmm.
who has like daddy issues.
Yep.
And
pretty much.
Daddy.
They turned M. Bison from like benevolent, evil dictator overlord to ruthless CEO. Like he was basically just a ruthless businessman.
With Irish missionary parents.
What the
Yeah.
fuck was that about?
Okay, the accent. All right, I'm gonna have to. I know this isn't really jumping because you hear it straight away. But fuck me.
I didn't know what the accent was
It's
until you
not
told me, or like 'cause
In
I,
the grand scheme of bad Irish accents in in film, it's not at the top end of that scale. It's not It's not an
no,
atrocious
Sons of
accent.
Anarchy must take that crown, surely.
It's not an atrocious Irish accent. My problem with it is if his parents died when he was very young,
Oh my
where
god.
the fuck
Yeah.
did he get the accent from?
Of course, because your upbringing is what really.
It's not
builds
like his
the
dead
accent.
parents were talking to him in the Irish brogue all the time.
It's actually
Yeah.
more to do with even the locale that you grow up in as well builds your accent around
Mhm.
it and who you would actually interact with.
Mhm.
So if that is true, he spent his whole life in Bangkok.
Skyping back to
What the shit? Also,
Ballyshannon.
I found it really funny if you see I had to write this down in the thing, but you know when it shows him as a baby,
Yeah.
when it goes that they left him to die.
Mhm.
It's an Asian baby. Did
No.
anyone
It is
Yeah, I
Asian
did notice
baby.
that. Sorry,
Asian
yeah.
baby? It's like what the fuck?
Yeah. That's pretty fucking
I don't know.
dumb.
How do we talk about this film without just mentioning, hey, this was bad and hey, this was bad?
Yeah. Do you remember like in the like one of the first fight scenes? I think it's between Balrog and
Balrog.
Do you know what?
Chun-Li's Owlad.
Yeah.
Let's
There's-
let's say good things about this film. I like Michael Clark Duncan
He's
as
crap
an
in this
actor.
though.
He was okay. He was hammy enough
Balrog,
that
is it?
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
terrible in this.
He's
He
he's
was
fucking
hammy
awful.
enough that I didn't mind him. He knew what he was getting into
Yeah.
and just played it up for the
Was this before or after the Green Mile?
after I want to
Oh,
say.
it's long after, I think. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's worse.
He
So
went
you-
for
you
making
went
the Green
from
Mile
an
to Street
Oscar
Fighter.
nominated film to or
Random
winning.
Random
whatever.
fact about Balrog: in the original game in Japan, he was called Mike Bison.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And
And
then in
the
America
character,
it was
yeah, they
swapped back around. Balrog's basically the kind of Black Rocky of the series. He wears the
Black.
American shorts in most of it as
Mhm.
well, and is just
I
a
always
tough
fucking hated
boxer.
Balrog.
That's it.
Can't kick.
No,
What a
no
dick.
kick move. And in this movie, he mostly used guns, so that was fun.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was interesting.
His only useful thing is I can punch real hard.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah.
give me a handgun, a machine gun, and an RPG. What the fuck? Like, they just got every essence wrong with the characters. Like, you look, M. Bison's a perfect one. If you skip the backstory, you look
Mhm.
at him and go, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even try to match one single thing. Like, even
Yeah.
if the suit he was wearing throughout the whole film was maybe, like, maroon. Maybe.
Yeah, they
You'd
could
be
have
like,
given him a
"I get
maroon
that."
suit and they're just business sizing him.
Oh, Jesus.
But no,
so
this
fucking
was
bad.
an atrocious attempt at the character M. Bison because it just didn't make any sense. Also, skipping ahead to the part in the film where he sacrifices his wife to
Oh,
give
yeah.
to give his daughter
What the fuck
his
was-
conscience, so he'd be a super evil guy, only to then become a moderately bad CEO. Like he
So
had
much
to
so
go
that he
through
has to
all
kill
of
his
this
competition.
supernatural shit so that he could be a really bad, tough businessman.
He just wants
Yeah.
to own the slums, man.
He could have done that naturally and legally, and it would have been fine.
There's also one question I couldn't get off my head when I was on it. You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing with the White Rose is his daughter. I know that's skipping ahead a little bit, but at the very
Mhm.
start, where it does the whole, this is what happened to Bison and his mother, or the mother of the child, basically kills to get that consciousness.
Yeah.
Where did he lose the daughter?
I don't know.
Doesn't
How did
make
he
any
lose her?
sense.
And when she comes back, she's speaking Russian, which isn't explained.
He
Not
went.
even a little bit.
She went to live with Zangief.
Before it turned out that the White Rose was like his daughter, I was really
Yeah.
hoping the White Rose was Blanca for no reason. Because I really like Blanca. I just like, oh, come on, bring that big green Hulk
Right.
guy in here.
I'm gonna be the ray of positivity on this podcast.
Some of
I
the fighting.
mentioned some stuff I like. The film was shot okay. Like it looked fine.
Some of the fighting was good. In fact,
the-
a lot of the fighting was
Alright,
quite good, actually.
if you're
I
going to
quite
say the
enjoyed it.
visual effects are anything but awful,
No,
alright.
No, the
I think
CGI
that's
was crap.
probably my only ray of sunshine is that it looked all right.
Okay.
My biggest problem with this film, and just coming at it from actually watching the film and not preconceptions of what Street Fighter should be, is how little sense the story made and that the beats of the film didn't make sense. So
Okay.
the entire Interpol part
Oh God.
was just stupid. So they stake out Balrog leaving the office. He looks their way for a split second, maybe
Yeah.
not even their way. Fucking American Pie jock kisses. Took me a while to figure out where I knew him
Really?
from. I was
Okay.
like, what do I know?
I totally
yeah.
forgot he was in it. And as Nash, like, Jesus.
Yeah. So makes out with the other Interpol
Mhm.
agent while Balrog jumps into a taxi from the van, whatever.
Smart ass.
Mhm.
They follow the car from that place, and then the next scene, he's walking into her apartment. She's having a shower. Not even pissed off that they lost the carrot, like they lost Balrog and they couldn't find a trail. It just didn't make any sense.
They do comment for a second, don't they? They say something like,
I can't
I'm not
believe
the
you
one-
lost him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. It made no sense.
Chris Klein is that guy's name, by
Yeah.
the way, from American Pie. He's definitely Keanu Reeves of this shit, isn't he? He just
no,
a
Keanu
very-
Reeves can act.
no, he can't. It's a very Reevesian performance, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
It's a terrible performance. Like,
Yeah,
one of
but
there's a line he
He's-
says
no,
at the very start.
is-
Let me see.
He is atrocious in this film.
Tell me something I don't know. You just inherited a big problem. Like, it's delivered like a heart. Oh, it's just so bad.
He's bad at
Mm.
this film.
He's really
I
bad.
love this town.
mm.
It's
I
like,
love
you're a
this
cop.
job.
Be
Yeah.
serious.
I know they're back to Bison for a second.
Yeah.
There's a part here where I was just watching it and it's like, wait a minute, Bison, did that cunt just applaud himself? Do you remember that bit? Just after
Did
he says something and he just like by himself just
Sounds like
applauding
something
yourself?
Bison would do.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like him.
just, it was just very
I
odd.
actually thought the fighting in this film for a fighting film was terrible.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, oh.
I thought it was muck. The fucking
Vega was bad. Balrog fight was
I
bad.
thought Lava was pretty
Vega
good.
was that guy from fucking
Fucking Black Eyed
Black Eyed
Peas.
Peas,
I have
yeah.
his name.
Yeah.
Taboo is his
Yeah,
name. Who the
Taboo.
fuck
I knew
named
him
himself
from
Taboo?
somewhere.
You should get the mask on. It's like,
Um,
hey, come on, he's in the Black Eyed Peas. Give him some break.
There's another
I
character
will
where it's completely
That
wrong
Vega
in
mask-
every single way.
That Vega mask, fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Too big, makes his head looks like a fucking mock-up that they threw away from the first Predator film.
Like,
Oh,
Sorry about that, Joe.
it looks like a bad
mostly
Predator cosplay mask.
it's just bad in every way. Like,
Mhm.
the one thing Vega, this is one thing Rob would be absolutely so energetic about, would be Vega is Spanish.
Yeah.
He's always been Spanish.
Yeah.
In this, he's Native American.
Yeah.
On it.
That's
the
close
games-
enough to Spanish.
He has the mask to
course he
protect
is.
his pretty face.
Yeah.
In this one, he wears the mask because he's ugly, because Taboo is an ugly cunt anyway.
No,
And he's
I don't think that. I
Um,
think that was what she said. That's what Chun Li
Oh, he wears it
said.
to hide his face. It's actually, I've looked it
Yeah.
up to see if it was one of those things like
But no,
the
'cause
backstory behind
They
it.
did the whole
Oh,
Chun Li
wow.
cut his face with the saw blade.
You
And he's like, "I will
bitch."
kill you."
Do you know who's ugly? Do you know that homeless girl that that
With the
Chun Li
baby?
gives money? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's fucking wrecked. Just to put that out there.
You know what? Very memorable on it because I watched.
She's
it
the
last
first woman to
She
throw a
is right.
watermelon at Balrog.
year.
yeah.
See your man on the left hand side throwing the bricks.
No,
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
this
had
guy
to-
throwing bricks.
There's a guy throwing bricks like
Yeah.
2 feet away from the guys, and everyone's like apple, watermelon, and this guy is
brick.
hurling the bricks at them.
Yeah.
I was
fuck.
watching it with Jess, or I watched the end of it with Jess, and she was like, "Do you think they were trying to go for that hustle bustle market scene from the game?" And I was like, "I didn't even consider that. Maybe." And Jess just kept saying, "I was waiting for a fight to break out there, and for all the people in the background just to be like."
Mm.
Oh, really pissed me off in the
Yeah.
club. The way she's
That
Co-
spinning bird kick in that club, fucking atrocious. Looks
Yeah,
like they
you're
just
gonna-
posed Chun-Li upside down and spun her around on one of those lazy Susans. That's
There's-
literally what that
that's
looks
exactly what
I
they
was saying
did.
this to Joey around. There's an Arctic Monkeys instrumental song called Chun Li Spinning Bird Kick, which is it's a good
The-
tune.
At that exact moment, there's a rap song in the background
Oh
called
my
Street
God.
Fight.
I heard it.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
That fucking song, and they played the full song at the
Man.
end credits. It's,
Street. I
awful.
skipped the end credits
oh.
just
Did
to
you?
let you know. Yeah.
oh,
So it doesn't count as a full watch of the film, I guess.
oh, fuck off! Of course it does.
I also skipped to the end. There's no after credit scene. Thank
No,
God.
so did I. I did as
I
I did
didn't
that
even
as
wait.
well.
I just actually googled the synopsis to see if there was
Yeah.
anything
Synopsis.
on synopsis.
Sorry, I shouldn't actually insult anybody for their speech because
Yeah,
I'm terrible.
adaptation.
Actually, that scene where like it comes up to that alleyway, you know, they're running after and the brick throwing guy.
Hmm.
Mm.
The one thing I
Billy Bricks, they call
remember,
him.
I was laughing my head off when you were watching the end of it, and that part
Yeah.
came up. The reason I was so laughing at that is Chun Li is running up the middle of the actual alleyway,
Yeah.
no problem at all. And as the guys are running through, they're jumping left to right, but the camera follows them in a way that shows the middle has no one in the middle, so they're going to the left, pushing people and the food apart.
Hmm.
There's a clear line the
Oh,
whole
yeah, yeah.
way up the middle, and they just keep pushing people and stopping. And Chun Li's miles ahead.
Yeah.
It's just, it's such bad filmmaking.
It's almost like it's almost like it's a bad film, Joe.
It's almost.
Like there's just so many little parts in it. Also, Liu Kang is in this film.
I saw that. Yeah.
The guy who plays Gen also
Mhm.
played
Oh yeah.
Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Talking to that guy, Gen.
He's awesome.
Do you, do you notice that he could have healed her? He could have healed her
Oh,
arm
yeah.
just by her standing up. But no. Could have healed you standing up and fully clothed. But getting you naked in the bath's way more fun. Otherwise, what's in it for me?
we were discussing that.
Yeah.
Like it's so true. Like he
Because I
goes,
didn't know. I didn't even
"Let's
think
take
about it
care
until
of that."
until Joe said, "It's like, why is she naked in a bath? It's just her fucking arm." That's like, oh yeah.
Also, why did he disappear for half the film if he didn't die in that explosion?
Who cares?
Oh, no,
he needed
that's-
some
Yeah.
me time.
That is the
Yeah.
no. He was self-healing.
Oh, okay. He
That
had
is
blown
the-
his leg
He,
off.
he
and
was
just like,
wanking.
The answer to every question about this film is actually who cares.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know? I'll tell you one thing. Chris Klein's character Nash, his partner should have been called Splash because she's just a fucking damn yoke.
So she was the
She's
one I didn't
filthy
know.
hot.
Was she a character? I didn't recognize if she was actually a Street Fighter
she's
character
not.
or not. I
She's
didn't think
loosely
so.
based on another one, which is in the fact.
Oh,
She's merely an unexpected lodgement at the wank bank.
Mhm.
That's what she is.
I can't remember what else she's been in. I know I've seen her
Nothing.
face.
My sexual fantasies. That's what.
since 8 o'clock tonight.
Correct.
Um,
What's with Chris Lyne's hair? It's very annoying in this film. I don't know.
He's
It's
Charlie
just-
Nash.
Does he
Who-
look
He
He
anything
should
like?
have blonde, weird hair.
Does
Yeah.
he look anything
Like-
like the character whatsoever?
Well,
No?
currently Charlie
God,
Nash is
no.
like a half zombie. So
Oh.
no.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, so
Um,
that would be a no.
He's a friend of Giles that the backstory in the first and
Mhm.
second one used to be, oh, my friend Charlie was killed, blah, blah, blah.
He was
Yeah.
actually
Which-
talking about the coke.
Like,
Oh,
really funny. Charlie in that story in the game
Charlie.
actually became Blanca.
Blanca.
And then they changed it after 2 Turbo. They had, oh no, he was talking about Charlie Nash.
Mhm.
So they changed the name of Blanca's original to something else. And
Carlos Blanca.
there you go. And they Charlie became Charlie Nash.
Charlie.
And he eventually got into the games, but he looks
Mhm.
so weird. He
Apparently
looks
very
nothing
good in the
like-
games if you're good at them, though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he uses the sonic boom exactly like
And the flash kick.
Guile. Yeah.
Flush kick.
So he's pretty much a diet Guile. So
I was really
yeah.
hoping the Bison would catch Chris Line riding his daughter. That would have been hot. That would have redeemed the film somewhat for me in that final.
That would have been
sequence.
completely out of left field.
Jesus Christ.
Barely legal puss, yeah.
Also,
Do you just watch every film hoping someone in it gets rode?
Well, when the film is this bad, you got to get your jolly,
Jolly
somewhere, don't you? Yeah.
Kristen Krug is definitely a redeeming factor. She's stunning.
But
Yeah.
she's terrible
I
in this
loved
film.
her in Smallville.
Also, she has the worst voiceover in the history. Well, one of the worst voiceovers I've heard in recent times.
Did you notice the amount of dubbing that went on?
Are you talking about like her
No,
narration or?
no, even actual.
Oh
the
no, I
dubbing
did.
just-
I can't
No,
say
I
I
d- I
noticed,
can't
but
say
I
I
There's
wasn't
a lot
paying
of bad
attention for it.
moments of dubbing
Yeah.
in the film. A lot of them.
I just I hated the fact that her idea of I had to better understand the people was walking around Bangkok like a lost child.
Hmm.
How
Great
did
time.
she get her
Also-
stuff back at the end?
Who cares?
If she gave, if she gave it all up,
Uh-huh.
So many questions.
But she
The answer to
didn't.
every
She
one
just-
of
she
them is who
get it back.
cares?
She just went to Bangkok for a holiday
so what?
because some old lady said she should go there.
Bitch, I
the
got
entire-
bank at home.
Yeah, the entire plot of this film makes no sense. Why would you go to Bangkok because you got a fucking smelly scroll after your piano recital?
Well, what else are you gonna do?
Well, if she didn't, there would be no movie.
Well, yeah.
Plus. It's actually just an hour and a half of her playing the piano.
Fair enough, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I would.
Do you want to go into your facts, Joe, or should I go into my lines? Or
Which do you want to do first?
Do you want to do the lines first?
okay,
Go for it.
right. We're just getting the lines.
Gotta
jingle.
cue this up. Right.
Ugh, Jesus.
Let's go on
Who's doing
to
a line?
the
For
line.
God's sake. Okay, so best. I only have 5 now, so in no particular order. Really.
Okay.
Best lines. Telling the schoolgirls growing up. That made me laugh.
That was terrible.
That's pathetic.
What, when she danced really badly to come on to the older Asian lady?
Oh,
I don't remember. And I don't
God,
care.
that was-
I don't remember when
that
it was in the film. but-
whole club scene was the worst load of horse semen I've ever watched in my life.
Luckily, one of Bison's top lieutenants was
Oh.
lesbian.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure she's
To give Kristen Kewick, is it Kewick or Kewick?
Kruick.
Kewick, a reason to dance very badly.
Great.
Oh, terrible.
That was great.
Yeah.
The second one. Sometimes you have to stand up when standing isn't easy. That's fucking awful.
I never find standing easy.
I wouldn't mind.
That's
That's like
maybe
the
laugh.
mantra to the whole film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
It's
that was
like, wow,
their
that's
true
bad.
line. That was the motivational sentence
Yeah.
they went with.
Yeah.
This was the next one. Was these aren't really so much bad lines as so bad they're kind of good. They could just kind of make me laugh. The accent made this worse than it already was. So I'm gonna try.
Oh, Faith and Bagor.
I'm gonna try and read it in the
Milk.
accent. Even milk has an expiration date. I love that.
Oh, it's such a
great.
terrible line.
And I got 2 Chris Line ones in a row to finish
Okay.
this off.
Okay.
I love this job. Followed by Nash out.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah, the
Nash
mash
out
Nash
was
out.
terrible because it wasn't said in the entire film and
They
then was
said it
said
twice
like
in
3
5 minutes.
times in 2 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
it's bad.
Yeah, that was a load of fucking cock.
So that
Yeah.
does the bad lions.
Yeah.
Well, lions. I wouldn't say bad.
So
Joe,
bad they're kind of
facts?
good.
Let's do this.
That's a fact.
Facts, Max.
Just the facts, ma'am.
All right.
Save us.
Okay, well, this I love my first one. So back in 2003, Jean-Claude
Mhm.
Van Damme was working on the sequel to the original Street Fighter. He's been working on it for nearly 10 years.
Okay.
The movie entitled Street Fighter 2. Would you believe?
Oh, okay.
Shocking.
for Universal.
Shocking.
Universal were interested, but so he had got several cast members hired to join the team. He had his Universal Soldier co-star Dolph Lundgren in it as an unrevealed role. Australia.
Zangief. He's the only Russian.
It's the only one I can think of. Yeah.
Across you.
Kylie Minogue passed, so he
Shocking.
had Holly Valance was set to play Cammy White. Damien Chapa would reprise his role as Ken Masters. Byron Mann was also in reported talks to return as Ryu. So, however, after a few years of trying to get the sequel off the ground, Universal passed and the project never materialized. Universal then later put all their money and plans into a sequel, and they chose The Legend of Chun Li Street Fighter over
sake.
everything that was out of everything they could have gone for. They went for The Legend of Chun Li. Like they told Jean-Claude Van Damme, "No, let's not.
We don't
make
want you.
that.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this."
Not to. I am going to interrupt your facts because
Go
I
ahead.
can. A point I want.
Sass.
A point
Yeah.
I wanted to
Fuck
make
me.
when we were talking, completely forgot about it.
Okay.
I fucking hate that they mispronounce so much in this film. Shadaloo?
Shadow.
What the
it's
fuck
Shadowlaw.
is Shadaloo?
Shadowlaw.
I thought it was
Is it?
Shadaloo.
Shadowloo. Well, it was originally Shadowlaw. Actually, it was called
Anyway,
Shadow something else. I have that
Shadaloo is
here.
wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a shadow of the source material. Let's just put it that way.
Also, at the very end, where they're hinting at, a possible sequel. Is it,
Ryu.
Gen is like,
Imagine,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Ryu in Japan. It's like, that's not his name.
That's not his name.
Oh, Ryu. It's
not his name.
Ryu. You know,
That's not
Yeah,
his
I
name.
wanted to.
Oh.
Well, I could have turned it off there, but whatever.
That's not his name.
Alright, sorry, Joe. Not to to interrupt, but go on.
So to an interview with Jean-Claude Van Damme recently, he was actually offered a role and was signed on for it. He was in the original script of it. He would have been the only original cast member for the original term, but Van Damme had conflicts with the director, so
But also-
his whole part was cut.
It doesn't make sense though, because like, they killed Bison at the end of Street Fighter the movie. How
don't see
would
him
that
die,
universe
though.
has got? Yeah, you do.
Which way does he die?
He gets blown up. Oh no. Oh, I
gets
haven't seen that
electrocuted, doesn't
film.
it?
And then he comes back to life, and then he gets
Spoilers.
kicked through the thing.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a video game movie. He's back.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Alright. It's like you're not Bison. He just walks in. You're not Bison. Yeah.
So obviously, thank fuck, but a potential sequel was talked about very early on, and a possible trilogy to be made, or up to 4 to 5 films in the end. But due to poor box office performances of the film, all 4 movies were cancelled.
Great times.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
It is the first Street Fighter film, either live or animated, not to feature Ryu or Ken in the characters cast. And he goes, however, Ryu is mentioned at the end of the film.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. It's not counted. So Robin Shaw, who plays Jen, or Gen, or whichever way the fuck you want to say it, the only actor in the cast who was previously featured in other movies based on a video game, as we mentioned, Liu Kang, and its sequel, Mortal Kombat Shit Annihilation, as well as having a cameo role in Dead or Alive. I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. Where am I? Okay.
You're in your parents' house.
So,
That's good.
so
Thanks.
to recount the film, the movie has only 7 World Warriors taken from Capcom's fighting game of 2008 titled Street Fighter 5. Originally, the game has 25, with the legendary World Warrior from Street Fighter Alpha, also known as Street Fighter Zero. So Charlie Nash being one.
So it's hang on, let me see. It's Gen, Nash, Chun Li, obviously,
Splash.
Bison, Balrog.
Yeah,
That's 5. Vega is 6.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
7 is Rose.
No, it's actually Maya. Maya is based on Crimson Maya Viper.
Oh,
Maya's her middle name.
Okay.
So it's Crimson Viper. You remember her?
Sea Viper, yeah.
Sea Viper. She's Maya is based on Sea Viper.
She wears a very low cut vest and a tie for some reason.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So that's the other
yeah.
Interpol agent.
Well, they also meant things. So Charlie Nash being a special guest to this movie rather than reusing the hybrid character Carlos Blanca.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, yeah, that's all of them there.
I thought Rose was a character, but maybe I was wrong.
No. Oh wait, no, she is. Hold on. I'm just looking at the list here. Yeah, you were right. Rose is. They were all just really tightly put together.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So Chun Li literally means spring beauty in Chinese.
Spring
Spring
booty.
booty.
Sorry, I said booty.
That is a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
you may have noticed that in the movie scene or in the scene in the nightclub
Mm-hmm.
when Chun Li turns around and looks at Nash.
Yeah.
Nash looks at her like, I recognize her.
Yeah.
And then he says, go
Who
ahead
is
and
that?
guess.
Mm-hmm.
He does know her. They have a full background story, which
Okay.
can only be seen on the deleted scenes on the DVD.
Fucking hell.
If you want to know what that is, I have no idea what it is.
I don't
but
care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who cares? Sorry, that is the correct
The
answer.
answer to everything.
Who cares?
What's the answer to tonight's question?
Yeah, like
Who cares?
what I love about
That
this
did
is
also not make sense because there's literally no one knew who she was, and then all of a sudden he's reading newspaper clippings about how her dad was kidnapped and that how she's a concert pianist that went missing, even though she told her house staff where she was going.
Mm.
Logic.
last one because the rest of this is just shit because it's a shit movie. M. Bison's daughter is based off Rose from the Alpha series.
Mhm.
However, she speaks Russian, which contrasts to Kane's where she is Italian and she is not M. Bison's daughter. So like you can see the difference between them all.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh well, did they get anything right? It's like,
Nope.
Well, they had Vega, but the problem is Vega is Spanish,
Mhm.
not Native American. Or
I was
Mexican.
more annoyed by the fact that Vega's claws looked fucking huge.
They were awful. They were awful.
How do you
Yeah.
reach for change in your pocket?
Your other hand.
So that's that shit out of the way.
Okay.
So we can move on to our list, will we?
You just made the list?
List time.
Chip, you know what? You just made the list. Oh no.
Oh, here we
Cut it
go.
off, you
Love that.
bastard.
Sorry. I always forget you like the oh no.
Do we
Yeah.
have the list
we go.
out there to have a look at?
Not in that. Well,
Get your
if
list
you're
out.
on IMDb, you
Yep.
can look at the Preachin' on Preacher page and
I'll
view the list.
I'll whip it out and I'll get the
That's
list as well.
what she said. The list, which currently has 47 films on it.
We should do something special for the 50th. I think we should get drunk or something.
We did that once, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
No, you got drunk. I had a child that week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got wasted.
Uh-huh.
You suck.
I'm going to hazard a guess
Yeah, I can't see
that I need to scroll towards the bottom of the list as
Fucking
opposed
right,
to the
yeah.
top.
Yeah, I can't find the list.
I have it here. And I'm not going to let you look at it. No, I'm joking. I have it anyway.
How do I not see a list?
How the fuck is Enter the Dragon so low?
Because it's not great.
It's a good
It's not a
film.
great film.
No, it's not.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay. Mick's got an idea. It's gonna be low.
So do I,
anyway.
yeah.
Oh no, it's very low.
Yeah.
I'm saying it should be underneath.
Yeah.
Sharknado.
Snap. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's have a look.
So basically, the list would end: The Room, Sharknado, Chun Li, Space Mutiny, Super Mario Brothers, Star Wars Holiday Special, Manos, Deep Throw.
Well, you're not gonna believe this, guys, but agreed.
That's two in a
weeks
row.
Yeah, we've had
Agreed.
the exact same
Oh, wait,
idea.
no.
The Sharknado's
I
definitely
was
better.
Mick-
I was going
Sir
to
Joe
try.
was a bit strong. Joe wasn't as strong as us on Birdman, but I
Yeah.
think
Nah,
I
it
think it was
should've
2
been.
weeks ago. There was.
Yeah, I was going to be controversial and say Above the Room just to annoy you guys.
Yeah. but
Nah.
It's
So I would rather, again, this comes down to, it's not what I think is a better film,
Yeah.
because I actually think Chun Li is a better shot film and has a better story than The Room.
yeah.
I'd agree on that.
But I would rather watch The Room than Chun Li again.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that again.
I do.
Not
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about the room.
Absolutely not.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed. I purchased that film on iTunes, so it's forever on my account.
Oh, jeez. You actually bought the room?
No,
Oh,
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
That's
Oh,
worse.
that's much worse.
Oh god.
Did you
Okay.
just call me a liar? No, I said you're fired. Oh, that's much worse.
Okay, so we're saying it is 43rd on our list of 47.
Deadly. Fair enough.
Final thoughts?
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
It's
Again.
It wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched, but it's pretty
I
fucking
think
bad.
there was
though.
there was a good film there. There was just so many bad things about it that it's buried inside. There's a kernel, a small sliver of a good film in Chun-Li,
Yeah.
but they never get anywhere close to actually having it.
There's a piece of corn in this shit
Mhm.
turd of a movie that's in
There's
there.
some very
that's-
bad acting in this
Yeah.
film.
Your man that plays Bison, you can tell that he's probably a good actor, but like it's
He is a good actor.
Yeah.
Joe saying that's
I was saying that he
He
Yeah.
pulls
the
off
main villain
creepy
in-
okay. It's just not Bison.
yeah.
He done a whole season or two in Arrow, as a villain.
Yeah.
And it was fucking fantastic.
I'm gonna go home and play Street Fighter 2 on my SNES just to wash this out of my brain. Like I'm still gonna have my ass handed to me by the computer or otherwise. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just
Just
it'll
beat
be-
up the car. It's fine.
What's
it'll-
really worse
yeah.
about this film is like it's so bad that I can't even say a joke like the credits or the opening credits were any.
There
were
were
the
no
best
opening
part of it.
credits.
The
It
opening
literally just
credits
went Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun Li and started the
with
film again.
shitty CGI that it looked like they did it on Windows 95.
Oh,
Like,
the
and then the
CGI.
end credits had a fucking terrible song. Like you were just
Oh,
like,
it's so
I
bad.
can't even say the credits were good.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
You can't even
So
give
bad.
credit where credit's due.
No, it's a terrible film. Fuck
Oh,
There
what are
is
you
no credit to-
talking about?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Right.
Should we move on to part 2?
it. I say we move on to part 2.
Yes.
No.
Join us.
No. Won't
I want to
you?
keep talking about Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Do you actually?
No, I really don't. Let's go on
Alright
to
then.
part 2.
Then join us in part 2.
Won't you?
And welcome back to part 2, where we're doing our question of the week. This week is best and worst video game movie adaptations, which is handy for our film this week. So it
Yeah.
makes sense to do this. So, any of you guys actually done a little bit of homework
No.
on this?
I've seen
No?
literally 2, including this week's episode. I've seen literally 2 video game adaptations, I believe, and they're both fucking awful. So
That's probably a
Hey,
good
let's
thing,
not
though.
spoil
Let's
the
be
first
honest.
part of the show.
yeah, if you want to hear what we've thought about Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun Li, then listen to the full podcast when it comes out in probably Sunday night.
Yeah, that's going to be.
It will be
interesting.
Sunday night.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Before Mick has a little bit of time and. You know.
Well, I'll be up till 5 a.m. this Sunday, so it's all good.
For why?
Oh, same.
WrestleMania!
Yeah, we should do something from that. We'll do
Like
that.
usual, yeah.
Like what we used to do. Like we didn't do it last year. I can't remember why. Vegas? No.
No, that was the year before.
What was last year? I can't remember.
Lack of enthusiasm?
I don't know.
Very possibly.
I don't know. Oh, I have we went to Amsterdam the other week, which of course we discussed in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, we will talk about that. We did talk about that. Part
yeah. We've probably talked about it in the first half.
Yeah.
But I was also in Glasgow. I got presents for nobody except you guys.
Aw.
It's only small. Don't worry about it. 1 second.
Mick, it's not a big black dildo. Calm down.
Hey, I could have bought one of those in Amsterdam if I wanted. Oh, that is
it's
cool.
3 Preacher minifigs. It's a pity they have their arses facing you, but let me just open the...
Hey, it wouldn't be
What?
us if the arses weren't facing it.
Yeah.
Was there a Lego store in...
Yeah, there was, yeah.
No
Nice.
way.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a pity there's not a...
So
not a
who are they?
It's a pity there's not a 4th. There's only 3 in the fucking thing, so I'm sorry, Ken. So if you can... just let's see if you can guess which one is which. They're minifigs
Of who?
of us.
What?
Of the 3 of
That
us.
was
Yeah, you
amazing.
can. So
You can
have
make
you
your
ever
own
been?
minifig.
Yeah, have you ever been to a Lego shop?
Clearly not. if you didn't
No,
know
I
this,
haven't.
So they just have buckets and buckets of bricks around, and you can make up your own sets and buy them.
Can I
So
live
let's-
there?
And you can also make minifigs.
Let's
I
see.
would live
Right.
in Legoland.
I already know the answer.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I
Right,
think
I'm gonna say this is me.
Yeah. Huh?
I'm gonna say this is Aiden, and this is Joe.
What's your guess, Joe?
I'm actually saying Aiden's
Oh, no,
the middle.
no,
I think
yeah,
Aiden's
yeah,
the
no,
middle,
you're right.
Mick's on the left, and I'm on the
Yeah.
right.
Joe, you're correct.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's
So-
have a look at little mini me.
So Mick, that's for you.
Thank you.
And that's for the
You, I
purposes
was
of
right,
That's
yeah.
me.
Deadly.
And
I don't wear a green top.
oh fuck off.
Especially
Look,
not sleeveless.
I searched for a long
Jesus.
time.
He has a beard and a nice little shirt and a little microphone.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Aiden.
you're welcome. Do you want to close a shot of these for the camera camera in there?
That
At the
is
end, okay.
class.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't
Isn't
know
it?
if anyone
You
on the
shouldn't have
live
done-
feed can see this at all, but they're
Yeah.
like really
Shouldn't-
cool.
Should not have done this at the start of the show, because now I'm just gonna be like this all the entire
I'll
hold
time.
on,
show
one
you.
up as well.
I'll show Aiden to everyone. There's Aiden. Okay, and Mick.
I think mine is the most accurate to person.
Even the jumper.
Yeah.
Like fuck me. The fact that they have microphones, that's cool. And Mini Mick.
And I was saying, like,
I think I'll call him Mini Mick.
Mick.
it's funny when I was looking at them, I was just like, if I could get 3 microphones, that'd be great. And then I found 3 fucking microphones, so it's allowed.
That's class.
That
yeah.
trawl through the bucket looking for the right accessory
I look like
Oh, it's a
is a
pain.
pain.
It
I look
is.
like I'm about to rob someone. Like I look like I've broken into a house and the only thing I found was an expensive microphone.
Just like in real life.
Like the way
Coming to you live from some rando's apartment.
You absolute fucking hobo.
Yeah, like this is supposed to be a hood at the back, but it's definitely like my catching net. So if I have anything good, I just throw it behind me. It lands.
I do
in
like
the
that there's a
actual
hood at the
hood.
back as well. It's pretty cool.
Catching
yeah.
it.
But there
It's
you
my
go.
catching net for anything I like in the house.
So there's some nice minifigs.
That is much
That's
appreciated.
class.
Thank
man.
you very much.
That is class.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm not patting you on the back.
Okay. The lack of gratitude is staggering. Anyway.
Hey, I said thanks.
Yeah. So, did we get much feedback during the week for this, Joe?
We got a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Will I do the feedback first, or we go through our? I have a list of best and worst.
You go through your
stuff
list
like
of best
that.
and worst. Then
Yeah.
because that will really open it up.
I just have a worst and
Um,
worst. That's it.
Yeah,
I've seen two
oh.
and they're both bad.
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
will I start with the best and
Yeah. Go on.
bring it down? Because we'd like to bring it up after talking
Mhm.
about the film. Oh God. So the best by voting is Mortal Kombat, the original, which I think I can agree with. The original Mortal Kombat is probably the best of a bad punch.
I like that film.
Yeah. Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole. Such a great line. I think they
It's
actually
the
did
right
it pretty
amount
well.
of cheesy, as well as having decent action
Yeah.
action scenes.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't too I don't think it took itself too seriously, which helped immensely.
Like Goro was actually a suit. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was practical effects. It wasn't CGI. Actually, I don't think there's many CGI at all in it, other than like the weird dark sky.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey,
That's about it.
scorpion flame breathing on.
The next one I really hate.
Scorpion wins.
I don't know why.
Spoiler, he doesn't.
Oh, does he not? That's
No.
a shame.
Vote with the second best. Super Mario Brothers.
Who the fuck
All right,
voted?
no.
Did Dano vote 5 times or something?
No, we reviewed this film, and it is definitely one of the worst like abominations to video game movie adaptations.
In this
that
poll
I've
of
ever
4
heard.
people,
was that the one that you called a Schmishmortion of it? No, that was Sharknado.
Sharknado is a weird one.
Schmishmortion. Cover your
Schmishmortion.
Yeah. Remember that knocked up? Yeah, cover your ears. Schmishmortion at the Schmishmortion clinic.
Oh God. Well, I don't understand why that was in second place, but fuck me.
just
that
go
is
through the
just
list.
awful.
Don't say your opinion, and then we'll
Yeah.
comment on them if
Okay.
you've seen them. Although Aiden,
Like
will.
third place, Street Fighter.
Okay,
the
I
original.
don't mind that as a stupid leave your brain at the door film.
Is that kind of a so bad it's good one? Because
I can see that. Yeah,
I've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
Joe and Rob talk about that a fucking lot, so I feel like I need to see that at some stage.
there's a lot of moments in it that you're like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Oh, they
Yeah.
were high as a
But
kite
there's
writing that.
yeah, so quotable.
Is Raul Julia good in it?
He
he's
is excellent.
is he?
He is a
His monologues are
scene
fucking
chewing
Yeah.
monster in this
Because
film.
I've only seen him in the 2 Addams Family films, and he's phenomenal
He
in
is
them. So
phenomenal.
Now you have to kind of know.
dead way before his time.
Yeah, you have to know the history of how the film was made, as to why it got so convoluted. Like the studio or Capcom kept saying, "Add more characters, till they each had like 5 minutes screen
Yeah.
time.
Capcom
Well-
being the creators of the Street Fighter
yeah.
game. They said people
Um,
don't know.
But like Raul Julia was suffering from, was it
Stomach
yeah,
cancer, I think,
stomach
or something
cancer.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
and
could
it was his
kinda
last
see it.
film. So they had to
Like-
film all his fight scenes at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you look at that film, you can see the different parts and kind of figure out the order it was filmed. Because he was still in recovery when they started filming that film, and he was gaunt, and then kind of slightly recovered as the shoot went on, but
I
not
think
very
you can
much.
see that with even the suit. The suit, how
It looks
how
massive
big,
on
how
him,
big
yeah.
he is in the suit.
Who does he play?
M. Bison.
Bison.
Oh, right, okay. Because, the Bison in the film we watched this week is fucking a
Yeah.
cunt. But anyway,
You mean CEO Bison?
Next should not be on the list because it's an absolute abomination again. Doom.
I
Have you
didn't
seen
mind Doom.
You like Doom?
I didn't mind it.
Fucking weirdo.
Again, as a leave your brain at the door popcorn action film,
It's
I
a
thought it was
god-awful
fine.
Rock should apologize.
The
Like, seriously, I'm
Chris-
waiting for
Chris
his
Rock?
apology. No,
Yes,
no, no.
Chris Rock.
no, just joking.
Oh god, he needs to. He needs to.
The
actually
first person
apologise for that.
sequence in that film is bad.
The only redeeming thing is the last 2 minutes that happens. It goes into first person mode as if there's a GoPro above
As if
the
you're playing a
gun,
gun.
like
yeah.
you're
Oh, right,
playing the
okay.
actual game.
Oh,
And it's for
gotcha,
about
okay.
1 minute or two, like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then the
Mhm.
film ends, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Carl
there
Urban
another-
is in that movie.
Isn't there,
oh
like,
fuck.
Mhm.
I thought it couldn't get worse.
I
He's a
won't...
great actor.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
I thought You know what I thought you said?
Keith
I
Urban.
thought you said Keith Urban. I was like, what the fuck's that cowboy
Well, I don't know
singing son
who
of a
I don't know who Keith Urban is. So
Keith fucking Urban. Do you ever
he's
hear?
this cowboy singer?
Do you ever hear that guy? What's that comedian that is like? He's kind of like the real life incarnation of Mo Sislak. He mentions Keith Urban and like in one of his monologues, he's about to sing a song about real country music. It's like Keith fucking Urban.
He's married to Nicole Kidman, isn't he?
Is he? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. What was I going to say?
Yeah,
That
I do
I
like
wanna
Carl
say-
Urban. I do actually.
I wanna
Carl
say
Urban
there's-
is great.
Yeah.
there's another film where like it's all first person. It's a video game adaptation. I'll never remember what it's called, but
Really?
I think so. I think it's all first person, and apparently it makes you quite dizzy.
I'd say so.
It's recent-ish,
I
as
can
in the
imagine
last
it being-
in the last 10 years or some shit.
Oh, no
But I
clue.
can't remember. I figured you guys might know. But anyway,
No.
moving on.
Next one on it, I actually really enjoyed this one. I have to say, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. First one, Angelina Jolie.
The
Which
newest
actually,
one.
guess the year that
Oh,
it
there's
came
3
out.
that I've seen then, because I've
Yeah.
seen the new Tomb Raider, but I was asleep for a lot of it.
So you didn't see the new
So
Tomb
it-
Raider. You slept through most of the
I'd
new
say I
Tomb
slept
Raider.
through about a third of it because I was just so
I've heard
tired.
It's not great.
No,
I
shite.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. Hannah liked it, which was the main thing, because it was her
Yeah.
birthday and her choice and all that. So, like,
Again, it's another don't go in expecting a fucking Oscar-winning
expecting
movie.
much.
It's a cheesy 2-hour action film that has some questionable scenes in it,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
and an entire
guess the
scene
year,
in the
by
middle
way.
that they could cut out. I would
Original Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie.
2003.
Oh, is it? Yeah, okay. I'd never seen that one. I'd say she'd be a good Tomb Raider.
What year do you think?
Oh, that film. Oh, 2000. Oh, fuck. It's earlier than that again, I'd say.
Okay.
I'd say
I was trying to
I'm going to
think,
say
'cause I know-
1999.
Okay. It's 2001.
Oh, that's
Ah.
close.
Right in the middle, guys. I just saw the year on it and I went, holy shit, that
Only-
did not seem that long ago.
Only film I've ever been kicked out of cinema going to see.
the fuck did you get? Hold on. You got kicked out of cinema.
Why?
Alright,
I'm
come
gonna
on.
blame the people I went with who
Okay.
were being noisy and loud, and all of us got kicked out.
Okay.
It was very annoying because I watched the first half hour of the film, then we were removed from the cinema, and I didn't want to go back and rewatch the film because I've already seen the first half hour, so I just never watched the end of it.
Is
Right.
she
Fair
good
enough.
as Lara Croft? Is she?
First
Yeah,
one, yeah.
she's-
Second one, no.
She certainly got great tits for it. So
She
that's-
got the tits for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, she's got the fun bags to make it work. All right.
She looks the part anyway. Like, even like in terms of her
As
boat
Tomb
race
Raider
as well.
comes-
They were
goes,
not
yeah.
pointy enough.
Oh right.
Jesus Christ.
Was that what your friends saying? Those tits aren't pointy enough. Boo.
What do you want? Some like digital formation
don't
of a
fucking know.
bra that forms.
Did you
Have you ever seen Tank Girl? That's what I want.
the Jamie Hewlett thing? Isn't that based on that's a comic by Jamie Hewlett, isn't it?
It is
Jamie
a comic. I
Hughes
don't
did?
know who writes
It's
it. but
Jamie
it
Hewlett, as in
stars
Huge it.
Jamie Hewlett is one half of the brains of Gorillaz. So,
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
so Gorillaz is all his animation as well.
I enjoyed. I've
And
not
which?
seen.
Alan Martin did Tank Girl, did they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Our
Ah.
fact-checking machine is in
Yeah.
order this week.
This is fucking awesome.
Just as well, because we know fucking
I've not
nothing.
seen Tank Girl in
so.
years, but I remember enjoying that film.
Oh, okay.
See, I've seen so many of these video game movies and I keep watching them.
Yeah.
Our next one on the list,
I've just seen the 2.5.
Mick probably knows this guy. Probably Ken too. Yui Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yui Ball. You were waiting on a Yui Ball film to come into it. So if anyone doesn't know, Yui Ball or UV Ball, whatever the fuck his name wants to call it, he's a shit tired anyway.
You brought him up before in this podcast and
yeah.
shit all over him. So
He started buying up the rights to video game movie adaptations pretty early on, and he amassed such a big amount that he was like,
Yeah.
I could make about 15 to 20 films. So he had so many, and one of the ones on the list here, Far Cry, is one that he
Never
got.
seen
Far
it,
Cry
but-
is a fantastic game. That is still going to this day to a
The
point
new one
where
came
it's
out
like
2 weeks ago.
fucking huge. Yeah, it's around number 5, and he did it. It is fucking god awful and nearly barely watchable at times.
Right.
Like barely watchable.
That's not the film Tara Reid's in, is it?
No,
she's
that,
in one
oh
of his
God,
films.
that's Sharknado.
No, she's in one of Uwe Boll. Is it Blood Rain?
No, it's American Pie
no,
then.
it's the haunted one. Alone
Big
in the
Lebowski.
Dark.
Oh, Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But he bought that. He done Alone in the Dark. In the space of about 8 years, he done about fucking 12.
hmm
like,
I've seen
really?
one
Video
of
game
his
movies.
films. I've seen the not Alone in the Dark. I've seen the House of the Dead one. That's the only
That's
one I've
also
seen.
awful.
That is an atrocious movie.
House of the Dead rubbish.
He doesn't know how to film.
It's
he has no idea.
that's unfair. I think
Well-
he can make films. They're just terrible.
Anybody can make films, Mick.
If he doesn't know how to film, we're making a film right now, technically.
Uh-huh.
like,
Technically, and it'll be better than anything he's ever filmed.
oh.
Well,
we do have 3 cameras.
the one thing, the
Well,
one
no,
thing,
the phone counts, kind of.
the
no?
one thing about him is and I think this is real. It's a real unusual thing because so many people called him out over it and like, oh, your films are terrible, and saying it to him, and then
Really?
he said, okay, fight me.
Such a brave bastard, isn't he?
Who was he,
Like,
Conor McGregor?
No,
Like,
he's an ex-amateur boxer.
oh, is he?
Oh.
Yeah. So they ended up putting on like a charity event where he fought 5 or 6 of the people that insulted his films.
fuck's
What the
sake.
fuck?
Yeah, it's real cool.
How did I not end up in that situation?
That's very odd.
I hate the guy. He's such a dick.
Yeah.
He's
did
following
really-
his passion.
But it's weird though. Like, oh, your films are terrible. Oh, fight me. I didn't say I could. I didn't say I could beat you up. I just said your films are awful.
His passion.
I don't know the full story. The people
Yeah.
may have threatened them.
Oh,
And
well,
then
that's
they
kind of
arranged it
different.
out.
What
Yeah.
kind of kid grows up with a passion to make bad movies?
Mm.
Alright.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Okay, probably the biggest one that have made the most money at this stage. Resident Evils.
Yeah.
Resident Evil have made what?
1
maybe
is
7?
good.
2 is shit.
2 is bad. I've not watched 3
3 is
onwards.
extinction. Extinction's not bad.
Okay.
Even though it's been slated quite a few times, it's actually the best of the bad bunch. After that, it just gets weird.
The
like,
reason 1 is good
Apocalypse. No, the
is
Apocalypse
because
is
it
2,
doesn't
isn't it?
follow the game.
Yeah, they changed
They went
it up.
out, they made their own film, and that
Hey,
was
neither
perfectly
is
fine.
Chun Li, but anyway.
Yeah, but two is, I still can't get over how bad that film is.
I got
Like,
very annoyed that they
fuck.
gave Nemesis emotions.
Yes.
That I was just so I was watching that film and I was like, they're not. And then when he did the whole thing where he recognized the girl and turned
Yep.
around and started fighting, I was like, I'm gonna burn this disc.
no.
Can't
do
even
you know
melt
what's the
the
worst at that
plastic.
fight part? Is when it goes, attack, alright? And as he tells him to attack, I'm going to have to put the mic down for this 1 second, but he does this. You'll see on the live feed.
Oh yeah,
As
he
if he's
cracks
a
his
boxer
neck,
cracking his neck, getting ready for a fight. You're like, you're a like,
you're a zombie.
huh? I could have, but I
I
would
thought
have
you were
looked
gonna.
like, I would have looked like I'm almost doing the truffle shuffle. Like,
No, you look like you're gonna do the Nick Frost bit and Shaun of the Dead, like. So I can do an orangutan impression. Fuck a doodle do.
fuck a dude. Actually, now that you mentioned like emotions and stuff like that, there is one that I remember.
The 2 bits
Hitman.
I get uncharacteristically annoyed at to do with giving things emotions are Nemesis in Resident Evil and the raptors in Jurassic World. Fuck that shit.
What's wrong with the
Raptors
raptors?
are supposed to be killing machines. They shouldn't be, calmed by Chris Pratt going. Fuck that.
Well,
I
yeah.
know technically you can train wild animals and lions and shit, but no,
Still a
they're
good film.
velociraptors. I've never seen it. I just seen that
What?
clip.
Oh,
It's a
it's
good film.
such a good film.
No, I haven't seen 2 or 3 though. I've never seen 2 or
Jurassic
3.
Parks.
Yeah, because I thought the first film was just one of the most perfect pieces of cinema.
Yeah, it is.
Even at age
2
8.
is good, 3
One
is
is
shit.
one
I've
is
heard that,
great.
yeah.
2 is good. Although I think when I was a kid, I preferred 2
Same.
at the time.
I
But as
still
I go back, I'm like, no, 2 is good, but it's not great.
It's not as good as the first one, yeah.
3 is an utter mess,
Yeah.
and I've not seen World. I refuse
World
to watch
is-
it because
World's
of
better than-
the stupid trained velociraptors.
Yeah, get
piece.
over yourself and
I
watch
find
that film.
World
It's very,
better
it's
than
very
two.
good. Yeah, it's good.
I find World better than 2, and that's hard for me because I've always preferred 2 to 1.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for Jurassic Space.
The next one looks incredible. They're blowing up the island.
Okay.
Okay.
The volcano on one of the islands goes off.
Spoiler.
monsters.
Adele, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Spoilers.
It's a trailer.
Yeah,
She
she
doesn't
doesn't
watch
watch
trailers.
trailers.
You monsters! You finally did it.
I'm waiting
You
for
blew
her.
it up.
That's not the wrong film. That's Planet of the Apes, which we discussed.
Oh,
if you want to know our
shit.
thoughts on Planet of the Apes, then you'll find it somewhere in our back
Episode
catalogue.
Like episode 50 or something.
I don't know. I want to say it's 20 or 30 something. Anyway, regardless. What
Joe,
else have you got,
continue.
Joe?
I will. Another Yui Ball, Blood Rain. I'm not talking about it because
Okay.
he's a dickhead.
Vampire movie.
Double Dragon in 1994.
Nope.
Anyone ever actually see that?
Nope.
It is fucking awful.
Chris O'Donnell in that film?
Robert Patrick, yes.
Yep.
And Robert Patrick. And Robert Patrick has, and I don't call it, he has this hair that sticks up about 2 inches off his head straight up. And it's like white bleach in the middle, black on the sides. And he has like this little devil goatee on it. He looks awful. And as he snaps his fingers, they glow red with lightning and stuff. And it's such a bad film. Oh.
Robert
Yeah.
Patrick, good actor,
Ah.
has been in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Another Yui Ball, Max Payne. Let's just skip by.
Yeah, good idea.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
Sorry, you say you did Max Payne.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you
That's
did Max
not the.
Payne. Mark Wahlberg with it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uwe Ball did that.
Pretty sure it was. Hold
I
on.
didn't think it
I'll
was
just
him, but I
double-check.
could be very, very wrong
It's
because
not him, but it was so bad I assumed it was him. Okay, never mind.
I remember that.
It's like,
Max
yeah,
Payne,
World War II, that was him.
Do you know what it's like?
I remember that Max Payne movie being bad.
Very bad. And do you know what? He never once does the slowdown. You know the
iconic Max
The
Payne
iconic-
thing.
Max Payne's a famous game that you have a slowdown,
It
like
did
in the
bullet
Matrix.
time.
Bullet
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
That
Before
was
bullet time.
pre-Matrix.
It was
Yeah.
pre-Matrix, so like
Right.
you couldn't even say, "Oh, they based it on the Matrix."
Mhm. The Matrix based it
In
on
the film,
bullet.
they don't even do it, and his enemies aren't people; they're demons. It was like now, if you went and watched that film and
Which I
went, "I'm going to
believe
play
is
Max
nothing
Payne,"
to do with
not
the game.
one demon in
yeah.
it. No, not one demon.
Max
in it.
Payne is a cop who's
It's
like
a cop thriller.
yeah, it's a cop
is, yeah.
thriller, like a noir game, and his baby and wife were murdered,
Yeah.
and he became like a angry thuggish cop and was taking revenge on the mob, and
You're addicted to alcohol and pills.
yeah,
He's having a bad time. He's depressed. Everything.
and in the movie
unreal
he
game.
fought like
Yeah.
demons.
Demons, huge flying demons. He jumps out a building. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, very bad.
But is it kind of like how
Exasperated exhale.
is it kind of like how in Super Mario Brothers with the Goombas are the mushroom fucking men
Oh,
in,
Yeah.
in Mario, right? In the film, you're just like 6 foot tall dudes with fucking weird heads. like
They were the guy at the end of Beetlejuice.
I was just gonna say they're just that guy in a fucking. But they're just so fucking daft. And
Yeah.
ball bombs, which take about 7 years to go off,
Mhm.
whereas realistically in the game they go off in about fucking 10 seconds. But yeah, yeah. I mean, there's taking liberties and there's taking the fucking piss.
There's actually so many of these. Like Silent Hill.
Not a bad film.
Not a bad
was
film.
okay.
Definitely not very Silent Hill-esque. Other than the
They
fog.
nailed the look. Yeah, I
they
think
nailed the look of the film.
But not the spirit.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Okay, I haven't seen any of these.
Uwe
things.
Ball has a quote, and I'm not going to attribute it directly because I can't remember what he said.
Well, paraphrase
he-
the prick then. go
Yeah,
on.
he basically said, "Video game plots make terrible films."
Yeah.
No shit.
And it's
From
like,
what you're saying.
why do you keep making video game movies then?
I don't think...
That's kind of that reminds. Sorry to interrupt, but that kind of reminds me how Tim Burton says was quoted famously once as saying, "Anyone who knows me knows that I've never read a comic book." And Kevin Smith was like, "Well, that to me explains Batman."
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that somebody... Like, you never heard of... Like, most of the huge studios
yeah,
don't make these
Yeah.
films. Like, even the original Tomb Raider was, like, the biggest push Hollywood ever gave it. It was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it could work, so we'll try.
it
But
did well, didn't it?
At least
the two Tomb Raiders with Lara Croft or with Angelina Jolie were profitable.
they were profitable, but they're pretty negative reviews across the
Oh,
board
yeah.
for
Yeah.
both. They said it was the plot was convoluted
Yeah.
with crap. It didn't feel like it should be.
Let me
on it.
ask you a couple of questions. Okay, number one, like all these films that you've mentioned, apart from the
Mm.
terrible ones, even the ones that you think are decent,
Yeah.
is there anything that's like a really decent, like a really great movie, a really great piece of cinema that's been based on a video game that you guys have seen? Then
Angry Birds movie.
is that good?
I've never
There-
seen it. That was just a
Ken is assuring us off
Okay.
camera
Shit,
that
man.
or off mic that's awful. 10 minutes and you turn it off. Okay, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
And is there potential? Like, is there a video game that you think could be adapted into a great movie?
Any
potentially?
of like
Every single one that we've actually mentioned could have been made into a good film
I don't.
with
So
the
I don't
right
think
script and the right company behind,
Yeah.
production company behind it. I think they could be good.
if we want to get onto the whole merits of this, I don't see the point of turning a lot of games that would be good films into films because they're already basically that in the game.
Yeah.
medium.
Yeah.
like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. Like
Grand Theft Auto could just be a crime movie. Like you could
Yeah.
have a crime
That's a
movie
gangster one. That's
yeah.
like you take San Andreas. You
Yeah.
could take it like
Sort
any in one of those kind of gangster
a
films
wonderful
in
story as
California.
well.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Vice
Yeah,
City
pretty
was
much,
definitely
yeah.
Scarface.
I
That
haven't
was such a
seen.
good point.
I still haven't seen Scarface, but I know the ending of Scarface is basically the end of Vice City, so
Mhm.
I kind of know how it ends.
But
anyway,
if you think of like any of the films or games, sorry now, that are heralded, like
Mm.
you've got The Last of Us. There's no need for that to be
That
a
is
film, because
yeah,
playing that game is basically a movie.
that is a
Yeah.
cinematic experience
Yeah,
of a game.
that's a better way to put it. Cinematic experience.
or then there's
fully agree.
then of course there's the inverse, which is like during the Ghostbusters game, which is essentially the third film, but just
Mhm.
it's a fucking game.
It was actually written by Harold Ramis
And Dan Aykroyd,
Dan
yeah.
Aykroyd,
Yeah.
and it was they said something like 70% of that game was the script rewrote in like 96.
Yeah.
Maybe or something.
There
like
have
Yeah.
It
been
was
a
like-
few cases where the game of the movie is better than the movie itself.
Yeah.
So the Wolverine game that came out after that awful Wolverine Origins movie, that game was whopper.
I heard the Phantom Menace game was quite good as well. I remember playing a demo
I
of it.
remember
It
it being
seemed
okay.
it seemed kind of fun, but
but early
anyway.
3D graphics are difficult to kind of keep held up.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go back to it now.
Yeah.
Same way you wouldn't go back to GoldenEye now.
Or the Phantom Menace in general.
Or the Phantom Menace in general. I heard someone argue online, this is a complete aside, someone argue online the other day that the prequel trilogy has so far been better than the current batch of...
Get out of my
Films.
face with that shit.
Anyway.
Jesus.
We all loved The
Um,
Last Jedi. Well, you weren't
I loved
crazy
The
about it,
Last
but
Jedi.
like,
I wasn't crazy about it, but I
yeah.
enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to where it leads the universe in
Yeah.
this way, so.
Absolutely.
One
yeah.
know a funny, or not, a stupid aside. There was a film out last year called The Mummy
Yeah.
Mm.
with fucking
Tom Cruise.
Tom
and-
Cruise,
Yeah.
yeah. So
The owl one.
by all by all accounts, a terrible, terrible film.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Very good video game based on it.
Really?
Really.
Yeah.
The Wolverine had that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
I
playing that
literally
game?
just said that like 2
No.
minutes ago.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
You were
I
just
thought you
not
mentioned
listening.
something else.
Talking of X-Men, I seen the
No.
I seen my first ever
Did
X-Men
he
film.
actually?
like-
Fuck.
I watched my first ever X-Men film like 2 weeks ago.
Fantastic.
Logan.
Which one?
Which one was it?
Logan.
That was your first one?
Yeah, I've never
Oh,
seen any
man.
X-Men film apart from Logan.
I have not seen
Great, yeah.
Logan yet. I think that might be the only one I've not seen.
Unreal.
It's very good,
That is
yeah,
a
I really
fucking
liked it.
unreal film.
Very gritty and very, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good
based
shit.
on the Old Man Logan comics.
Yeah.
Old man Logan.
That's the actual name of the comics. It's
Really?
actually fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Want to know the top 3 most hated
Go on.
ones of all
Hit me.
time? So, in third words, Assassin's Creed.
I've heard that's a bad film.
I haven't watched it yet, but it is definitely going to be up there, which I find real unusual because the stories in Assassin's Creed
Or crack. Cack, I should have said, not crack.
But the
They're awful.
storyline,
They're
like
atrocious.
if you take Ezio, I don't know what it is, but Ezio's ones, the storylines in Assassin's
No,
Creed are not
Bad
terrible.
game. Oh, okay.
I mean, the movie, yeah, but that's what I'm
The
saying. It
game
should have
story
worked.
is completely superfluous. I'm
Yeah.
very tired.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Superfluous
think
to
it-
the game itself.
I think,
And everything
I
you do is of
disagree.
little consequence because you're technically playing through memories.
The details of my life are quite
That's not the point, though.
inconsequential.
It's still a great story.
Yeah.
The in second place, which is this hurts me to say because this is one of my favorite games, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Okay. That Jake Gyllenhaal joint.
It is a god awful film. The story in Prince of Persia is played out like a movie, as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the classic Save the Princess.
Oh yeah.
And he can control time in small bursts, which is really cool.
Okay.
That's
But,
a great mechanic in that game.
Oh, it's unreal. But it should have worked. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, how do you fuck up this
Uh-huh.
story? It's like, oh, we can't.
Right.
It's like, I mean, you fucking did. So it's god awful.
What's number one?
Number 1, I actually have never seen or never heard before. It's Yui Ball,
Okay.
of course. It's called Postal.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
I've not seen the film, but I've heard of the game.
I love the little.
Fuck off you. We're not doing that next week.
I love the little description of it. It says, here it is. A movie that should make you think Warcraft is high art. Postal opens on 2 terrorists in a cockpit of a plane, fighting about how many virgins greet martyrs when they enter heaven. The argument ends with them deciding to fly to the Bahamas instead. But then the passengers of their hijacked plane revolt and force it to crash it into the World Trade Center. Everything hovers around that level of bad and offensive for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Making this an easy call for definitely the worst video game adaptation ever. All you make it so hard to love you.
Do you know how much that made at the box office?
No.
About
$146,000. $146,741.
out of a budget of what?
Doesn't say.
Oh, that's
Wait,
pity.
hold on.
I'm gonna guess more
Ken's
than
on
that.
it. Ken's on it. That's
I just
alright.
need to get this in my head. It's two terrorists in a cockpit that are deciding that, yeah, you know what, fuck it, we'll go to the Bahamas. But the passengers hijack the plane.
What was the budget, Ken?
What?
Nice. Okay.
15 million. Oh my fucking
That's
god.
that's embarrassing.
That is a terrible.
I will say, according
Oh
to this
my
list
God.
I'm reading here, the highlight of that film, in a moment that is both self-aware and perhaps rewarding for gamers everywhere, the director includes a scene where he gets shot in the balls.
Oh Jesus.
Before dying, he states, "I hate video games."
Oh, that's
Oh, for fuck's sake, that is just shitting on your own lawn. Like,
yeah.
fucking hell.
So to briefly cap off our talk about it, I think
Yeah.
before we get into the comments, we've not mentioned, or you briefly
There's
mentioned
Postal 2. Ken said there's a Postal 2. Jesus Christ.
What?
Is that not that's the game, isn't it? Oh,
Direct to
okay.
video. Christ.
We didn't mention the Warcraft. Well, you briefly mentioned the Warcraft movie.
I did.
Not seen it. It seemed like it was a passable action film that was
You know,
not very well received.
how video game ones go. It was an all right kind of fantasy sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
action film where it was just constant.
That South Park episode was amazing. The
Like-
World of Warcraft episode.
Oh, it was unreal.
Yeah.
But
I've
that,
never played the game, but that was a fucking great episode, though.
I didn't find Warcraft that bad. I think that got slated because actually I don't know how you actually adapted a Warcraft film without like
Yeah.
I never thought that you could.
Have to sit in a queue for 20 minutes waiting for a raid dungeon to just get an instance for you.
The first 20 minutes of the film are
Mhm.
5 people standing in a field in a lobby just waiting for another 10
Yep.
people to arrive.
Huh.
Just
And then one guy going,
Sounds like Pokemon.
Leroy Jenkins!
That sounds like Pokemon Go or something.
that should have been
Pokemon Go is very RPG-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other two I just wanted to briefly mention are both Hitman movies.
Oh.
God, they remade that film twice in the space of what,
They
5
made
years?
one was
Jesus.
2008 and one was 2007. I think one was like 2014.
Jesus Christ.
Timothy Oliphant, not a good Agent 47.
Gave him emotions.
hmm He's
Another
an
one.
emotionless murderer. He shouldn't have emotions.
The only reason we're really fickle on that is he's a genetically enhanced assassin where all
Yeah.
emotion was taken out so he can be the number one assassin on the planet. So
Right.
suddenly he has emotions. It's
Mhm.
like, oh my fucking God.
I didn't mind the other one. I can't remember the actor who played.
It's your man from Homeland.
Yeah.
I never remember his name.
Didn't have a fully shaved head, which kind
No.
of annoyed.
No, he didn't. Also, another thing in the game is genetically enhanced, so his hair doesn't grow. Really annoying.
Okay.
Mm.
You change too much.
I've never played that game, but it looks really fun. I've watched Rob play
Hitman,
it quite a bit.
unreal.
Yeah.
If you
Looks
want
deadly.
to get, oh, you don't have a PlayStation 4. The first level or
Can I
so,
borrow
I think
yours?
is no.
Oh, okay.
The first level or so is free, and that new Hitman game, the episodic one,
Yeah.
is very good.
Okay.
Yeah. I
And
really
if you
like it.
want to just be completely guided around it, there's like a step-by-step thing in the game that tells you, find this guy, do this, do that, and you get
Yeah.
the
See, I thought that
mission
was
kill.
a cheat to it, but then when I
You can
looked
turn
up
all
the-
that shit off.
when I looked at how it goes, it shows you one way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes, now there is over 45
Yeah.
different possibilities of to hit your target. You're like, whoa,
It's a very, very
holy
good
shit.
game.
It's such a big open game. It goes, here's your
Yeah.
target, now you have to kill him. And like, but there could be 100 different ways of doing it.
Yeah. That's
It's fucking mental. It's
pretty cool.
It's really cool.
One guy I watched
Always
planted
loved
a
that.
bomb on a toilet, waited for the guy to go to the bathroom, and then blew up the bomb remotely. And the guy went flying off the jacks.
Do you know what's my
That's just
favorite
good
one of all
fun.
time? There was this opera one in, is it Contracts?
Is that the one where you replace the prop gun with the real gun?
You can hide in the closet and replace a prop gun with a real model gun of it.
All right.
And when he's on stage, he shoots him like
Uh-huh.
that, and kills him. And one of the best ways of doing it was as he runs off the stage. Earlier on in the game, you could plant C4 on the chandelier above it. So as he's running away, you just go. Doo-doo. But then I discovered Rob actually discovered some guy online that was like, he ran into the building. He goes, how to do it in less than 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Ran into the building upstairs, and when your man is practicing and he goes like that,
Yeah.
he takes the shot as the gun goes off. The fake gun goes off,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and no one notices it. So the
Uh-huh.
game is so adept that it knows
Yeah.
when he goes to that, and you fire at the exact same time he does the fake kill,
Yeah.
and you kill him. It's
No way.
fucking brilliant.
That's good shit.
Good game.
Play that game.
Joe, do you want
Yeah.
to get into our feedback?
Yes, indeedy.
Do you think, before we do that, do you think Age of Empires could be a good game? Or a good
Ooh.
film, possibly?
No, only because.
Okay.
Well, no.
Moving on.
Moving
We
on.
had it. Braveheart.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Age of Empires, there's no real story in Age of Empires.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was
Yeah.
thinking that as well, yeah. Good game, though.
Sorry, we completely forgot those. Never
They're not
mind.
video
We're going
games.
the other way.
Whoa.
We're going the other way.
Yep.
Those Lord of the Ring video games based on the movies, very
Awesome.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fully agree. They've always been really good. Okay. All right, I'll go into the comments. So
Okay.
first one comes from Hannah Boylan today. It was worst for sure is Assassin's Creed. We'll never get those minutes back. Damn, I still haven't watched that, and I'm a huge Creed fan. I'm very disappointed.
For when you
Silence.
I'm free.
Oh,
Creed.
I was like, what the fuck is Mick singing? David Cullen, that Mario Brothers movie. It's not even so bad. It's good. It's just so bad. It's tweezers your ball hairs one by one, kind of excruciating.
The only thing that redeems
Wow.
that a little bit is Bob Hoskins. He's good in anything I've seen him in. He's so he redeems it a little bit.
Yeah,
Dennis Hopper
he
chose a lot of
apologised.
scenery in that film.
Oh, he's fucking awful. He came up on Hollywood Babylon for exquisite. Did I ever show you exquisite acting? So it's a feature on Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman where they talk about acting that's so bad it goes all the way around and becomes exquisite.
Okay.
And they played a little bit from Mario Brothers and that. I think it's when he first meets the brothers in person. It's just that
Oh,
scene.
when he pretends to be their lawyer
I can't
and he
remember.
won't shake
but
their hand.
I think there's a bit of screaming and it's quite terrible. But yeah, anyway,
Awful film.
yeah.
Dave Cullen,
Bowser me bollocks. Anyway.
Beardy.
Beard Dave. Yep.
Best for me would be the original Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. A Hitman with Tim the Elephant as 47 and Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah,
There's
she
me
liked
ripping
Max
on the-
Payne.
There you go.
Jesus. Dave, what the hell, man?
Can't be
I
right all
kid,
the
I
time.
kid. Worst for me was the 2010 Tekken movie. My God.
I
That-
forgot that existed.
Rob
I've never
was,
fucking.
he's a huge Tekken fan, and I
Okay.
remember
I
he
like Tekken.
watched it, and I think I seen him crying out the back for about 10 minutes. It's just so bad. Like, it
Yeah.
was just one of those things, and I never really liked Tekken.
One we
Well,
did, yeah.
Fucking me.
One we didn't mention in our list, that Dead or Alive movie.
Oh, that was in my list, and the only thing I can remember is your one.
Holly Valance
Holly
putting on her
Valance.
bra in the middle of a fight.
Yeah. Not
You
once
should
do you
watch
get to
that
see a
scene,
titty.
Aiden.
Yeah, I want to watch
Not
it
one
right
titty.
now. Really?
Not one titty.
No, yeah,
Side
there's no
boob?
boob. No,
Not
no
e-
boob. Maybe.
Maybe a little side boob, but that's about it.
I remember it being very ridiculous.
So bad.
Also, the Dead or Alive games, one of their selling points is the bouncy titties.
Oh, great
They actually
times.
put a lot of money into the physics
physics.
of boob. Like, it's crazy.
Because video games are such a mature medium.
This is
Boing,
Brad.
boing.
He's head of our boobs team.
He's
I
heading
love-
up the boobs.
I love my
I
job.
love- he goes out and does a lot of research.
It's fucking boob development team.
Just a woman in a glass room with a microphone and cameras all around.
Yeah, and I just
Bounce, bitch.
jump up and down. Yeah, that's yeah, that's nice.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You wanna be a-
just
you wanna be a-
four guys and him just staring at them like with notes. Oh yes, yes, yes.
You want to be a star, don't you?
Do it slower.
Ah, we're gonna need a super soaker in here.
There'll be no need for your tracksuit tops.
Okay, he also said, I felt it, as a
Who's
massive fan of it, the Tekken one, just to finish it off, he goes,
Yeah.
I felt it should have made the Mishima bloodline a bigger factor within the movie's plot. Supposedly, so yeah, there's the brother, father, and
Heihachi.
Yeah. they're the
fucking- I
ones.
can't-
There's
yeah.
the granddad, the father, and the son, isn't it?
Heihachi is the...
And the Holy Spirit as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Heihachi's the granddad, and then it's Jin is the... Yeah, I think it's Jin is
Yeah.
the
Heihachi,
son.
is that his name? That must be confusing when people trying to get his attention. Hey, Heihachi.
Hey, Heihachi.
Ah.
Heihachi Mishihima.
I'll follow one. Sorry for that.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Grannis says the Dragon Ball Z movie. I have heard god awful things about that film.
So did he say
I've
it's
never
good or
seen
bad?
it.
Didn't specify.
I'm going to say bad because there's no way you can put that in a good.
Well, you
It
don't
was
know
one of
then.
those ones where, oh, you're like a Japanese manga. Cool. Do you know what we're going to do? We're an American company and we're going to hire all American
White
actors.
actors, yeah, of
and
course.
we're not going to listen to the original storyline. And do you know what?
Was this a live action film?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Oh, it's god awful.
I thought it was some kind of animated film.
From what I've seen. Oh my god. Sarah Lee Doyle. Also, I second Hannah with Assassin's Creed, so that's bad. Awful. Tomb Raider was good, but I'm not sure which Tomb Raider that is. I will have to watch
Let's
the new
say
one.
the new one.
One of the new ones, or one of the Tomb Raiders.
We got our local TD in here. Trevor Gilligan came in Doom for those 3 seconds of FPS.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, 3 seconds. Yeah.
Was that a like or a hate? And
and
it was more like 7 minutes.
I'm going to go with good on that
Yeah.
one. Alan Burke says Mortal Kombat is easily the best. I agree. I still think Mortal Kombat, the original one, is still the
Yes,
best
that
video game
film is still
adaptation.
worth a watch.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be anywhere near the end of our list.
No.
Like, for sure.
Jesus, but like even like the best, you're saying, yeah, it's worth watching. Do you know what I mean? Like this.
Again, it's the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah,
like it's
clearly.
it's not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I haven't seen a lot of these fucking things, to be honest with you. From what
The
you're
thing
saying.
is, I've not seen a lot of them either.
Yeah.
I see video game movie on a list, and I'm like, I'm not watching that
Yeah.
shit.
So I'm a sucker.
Until
Love
you,
video games. So it's like they made a video or a movie about this one. Let me have a look.
yeah,
And then you just feel sad.
yeah.
Like at the end of it, you're just like,
Why did I waste my
Just
life?
masturbate and cry yourself to sleep
yeah,
that
straight
night
to Pornhub afterwards.
Mm.
There's nothing else to do.
to rinse it from your brain.
Phrasing.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's all our comments.
I
Cool.
see.
We got through
Does
quite a
anybody
lot.
else have any?
We got some live comments. I think I can see
do
them
we?
popping up.
God, I completely forgot about the live feed.
Yeah,
The
we're on-
live feed. There is people here.
It's been a year and a bit or whatever, or 2 years or some shit. We do live Facebook.
Do
shit
we?
now. We do, yeah.
No fucking way. Is that what
Yeah.
that is?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I thought Aiden was just filming us to put it in the bank afterwards.
We did get one actually. Laura,
Unexpected lodgement in the wank bank.
Laura Buckley said Need for Speed. Actually, has anyone
Oh,
seen that
fuck,
with
the Aaron Paul movie.
Aaron Paul?
No, heard it's
all
awful.
right.
Are they okay? Yeah.
And I,
Cheap
Ah.
rip-off of
oh
Fast and
yeah,
Furious,
and I think it came out around the same month as like the last Fast and Furious that was out, so it was very like, want to see a car movie?
And it was- wasn't
Want
that
to
Come
see
see our
another one?
Wasn't that the first thing you did after
If
Breaking
you've
Bad
already
as well?
seen, yeah.
Like,
it
so
was-
you're my favorite TV show of all time. This is what you're doing now after? Like, all right. I
I'm sure
guess.
he got paid.
Oh yeah, like at the time it was
So
like
it's
Fast
perfectly
and
fine,
Furious
yeah.
is like the Coke that came out that day, and then it was like Need for Speed. What's that? It's like the Diet Coke of the Fast and Furious. Like
It's
I
more
still
like the Tesco brand cola.
Yeah. To mix with Tesco vodka,
I
so
mean,
you don't
Also,
remember afterwards.
come back to your Breaking Bad point. It's not like Bryan Cranston has gone off and done a shitload of really good films since Breaking Bad came out.
Funnily enough, actually, you know, like I was
Still
watching him.
want them to apologize for Power Rangers.
I haven't seen that, but
Forgot he was in that.
is he bad in it, or is it just a bad film?
He's not bad in him. It's a very bad film.
No, because I was watching an interview with him a year or two ago when he was on the Howard Stern show,
Uh-huh.
and Howard Stern was asking him about like how much, like how well did you do at Malcolm in the Middle? And he said, "Well, put it this way: after Malcolm in the Middle, I didn't have to work. I haven't had to work a day in my life since then. I just keep going because I love it." But like he's set for like Malcolm in the Middle basically set him up for life,
Mhm.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wish I could be set up for life by doing one job for a few years.
yeah, for like 9 years, whatever, and then you're done.
Yeah.
You could technically retire if you wanted to, which would be delightful.
Just have a hit show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I-
and then do what Friends did, or
Yeah.
what Big Bang Theory are doing right now. It's
What,
like
milk it for all it's worth?
It's like, how
Uh.
much are we getting per episode? Yeah, I want 2 million an episode, please. How many episodes are we doing?
yeah,
24?
Yep.
Cool, that's 48 million, and I'm done for the year.
yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Don't for your
I
fucking
gotta
life.
phone it in.
Like,
Yeah.
it'd be one of those things that when that show ends, they'll be like, are you going to,
He's gonna reappear on the reboot of Roseanne.
no, it's like, are you going to do any films? It's like, why? The last 2 seasons, I just made 150
Some
in the
people
bank,
like
bitch.
acting.
That's true.
That's why Bryan
Let's hope
Cranston
they
keeps doing
don't.
it. I think Frankie Muniz is retired, isn't he?
He has some real bad,
He's got,
like
Am-
neurological
yeah, he gets
thing. Yeah, he
amnesia.
can't
Oh,
remember
oh, that's
most
right.
of
Yeah,
he can't
Malcolm
act.
in the Middle, isn't it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can't remember it. He's losing his memories.
that's
Yeah,
fucking
That's horrible.
brain
It's fucked up,
degenerative
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Really bad, actually.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
feel
awful.
bad for the chap. Like, that is just, like, your bread and butter.
yeah.
What, memories?
What else we got on it? Rob Neary said Resident Evil keeps going from bad to worse. I feel a compulsion to watch them, though.
Nope. They've
Yeah.
ended that series about 4 times.
Yeah, Muniz had a few strokes, is why it happened, and now he's losing, yeah. Rob Neary also said, on DVD, the first Doom, the
Mhm.
first person sequence is actually a lot longer, and the reason I
Maybe
keep watching it.
that's why.
God.
yeah.
There you go.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Carl Urban is good in that film.
Yeah. Keith Urban?
Carl Urban, fucking prick.
That was very no
Whoa.
Carl Urban, you
Whoa.
fucking prick.
Yeah, that's our,
Let's shut this
our
thing
live,
down.
our comments, and our
All
run
right.
through of a list of the worst movies.
So thanks to the 2 people that watched this, that was nice.
It was 11:15 on a Friday night. A lot of people have a lot better things to do than watch us talk about film,
Like what?
like the pub
Oh yeah.
or
hey, they could be in the pub right
sleeping.
now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
This is where we find out someone is actually like
I'm
screen
fucking
sharing
locked,
us in
yeah.
fucking laurels on the big screen.
God, can you
But
imagine?
then we only get one view for that, even though all those people at the pub are obviously drilled onto the screen. What the hell am I talking about tonight?
I
You need
don't know.
to-
It's gone. Mick's exhausted because Did you know he has a kid?
No, he's never mentioned that actually. Like, how long have you had the kid?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
Like a broken record here, Mick.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Cry me a fucking river.
Get it. You have a child. Move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just looks defeated. Like, oh, fuck this.
I can't even be mean. I'm just a
No.
broken man.
Hey, when your kid eventually goes through the teething process,
Yeah.
come back to me and then apologize.
No,
Fair enough.
I don't think I
Fair
never
enough.
apologize, Mick. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am.
Just an asshole.
To steal a joke from Homer Simpson. Do we have any ideas for the film next week?
Something good.
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, well, hold on. We did do 3 glorious films in a row.
We fucking
like
did.
before
Yeah.
we did this.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Baby Driver,
Oh,
It,
okay, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Birdman.
Birdman. Yeah.
Birdman.
John Birdman.
Zoidberg. He did the Zoidberg pronunciation. Robot. Have you any ideas for a film?
I actually didn't think of a film this week.
No, I
but
think
I did.
maybe-
I think the 3 before were my suggestions, though, aren't they?
One of them was, and the other 2 were mine.
I should have thought of something, but I didn't. So
Okay.
Just noticing that the 2 people in this room have Pokemon hats.
Yeah.
Could we watch a Pokemon film?
oh dear God,
What's wrong with that?
nothing.
Which one? The first movie?
Well, I'd say the first
I'm gonna
movie, the
cry.
logical choice, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna cry.
Because I don't think I've ever seen the first movie. I've seen
Fuck.
I don't think I've
Video
seen the
game
first
adaptation.
Oh yeah, there we go.
You know what?
Let's do it
I
in a row.
completely take it back. Mortal Kombat is number 1. It's Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah,
Pokemon didn't start out as a game though.
it did.
Did it?
It did. I didn't think
yeah.
it did until I started playing Pokemon Go. I never knew that it was a game first.
Oh, was the trading company?
I don't
first?
remember. I thought it was cards then
Ken,
game.
Fact checker
Yeah,
is already
fact
on it.
checker's
Look,
on the case.
which was, I'm pretty sure it was the video games.
Fact checking Ken is on the case.
While
Um,
that's happening anyway.
We haven't done an animated in a while, actually. So
Yeah, no, that works out.
That works.
That's
That
true,
works
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm good.
deadly.
Yeah.
Do we any idea for a question of the week? Something to go with it, or
Pokemon Go tips and tricks.
man, I could talk about that for about
See, I can't.
Yeah.
half hour, 40 minutes.
I'm so glad I
Half
joined
an hour,
that group,
40
by the way,
minutes.
for rating, and so it's become that game's become so much more fun. I was kind of just still playing it for the sake of playing it, just for the sake of walking around and getting a little bit of exercise and stuff. But yeah, the rating, and so once you get to, I'd say, level 20, join us on some raids, won't you? It's just it just injects a whole lot of extra shit
Yeah.
into the game, which is good.
Well,
Fun.
we'll discuss the question. Anyway
Yeah,
then,
we'll come
up
and
with
we
something.
can come up with something. So we have
Let's.
Pokemon, the first movie, next week. I'm really excited. I haven't watched
Yeah.
that in ages.
How
I
old
don't
is
think
it?
I've ever seen it.
2000.
The
The game
movie.
is 95 or 96 in Japan, 98 for Europe.
Oh, okay.
And which came first, the chicken or the egg? The cards or the fucking
96 in Japan, yeah.
okay. Well, which was the game first or the trading cards?
I think the trading cards came around around the same time, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
So it launched all
Okay.
together. They launched all together. Then.
Do, 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 do.
Right.
That's cool. That's cool.
So if people want to contact us and shit during the week, Mick, where can they contact us and listen to the show and all that sort of
Thanks.
business?
On Twitter, you can get us at Preachin Pod. Facebook is Preachin at the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Email, which I don't know if Aidan has received any ever, is
No, not really, not so
preachinonpreacher
much.
at gmail.com.
Correct.
And the website is preachinonpreacher.com
Yes.
for all our past episodes and current episodes. You can also download the podcast if you want to listen to it on your device, either on iTunes, Mixcloud, Spotify, or anywhere else good podcasts are sold.
For free.
For free.
Perfect.
So,
Anywhere
yeah.
else. Well, if you want to pay, I don't care.
Yeah, same. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Just send me a check, $2 to Happy Dude.
and you'll apologize next week.
742
So
Evergreen Terrace.
yeah. Are we gonna call it there?
I think we can call it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Nice
Last
one.
thoughts, Jen?
Hope you have a good weekend. Because
So
it's Friday and I'm in love.
Friday.
Thank God.
Gotta get down on
Friday. Yeah, I
Thank
guess
God it's Fridja.
yeah.
Fridge.
I'll
Don't want to know.
I remember that. Just tell me what that is afterwards, because I'm going to forget.
Will do.
Yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys next week. Keep on preaching.